seeing, and then have to figure out pricing compared to that, because that's what I'm going to talk to him about. Because my flights are pre-booked, or when he booked the one, he booked the return flight on the way back. So that's what I'm looking into. I spend the evening doing that.
Well, we're grateful that
And then have to figure out pricing compared to that.
we're grateful that you're coming home.
No, it's a different energy, so it's good. Well, I'll look into get Gabe, and I got to get him in, pay for him and program and get all that stuff figured out. And then I got work chat ish tomorrow afternoon. So energy actually, so that's good. That's in the I don't know what time PM booked that up, but it's exciting. So I got a lot of stuff to do today, but that's good because my energy is here, and then I'll move around and make sure I keep getting Wi-Fi at different places, and just it gets me up, gets me moving. Go get that. Like, oh, check over here. Oh, I'll go to Booster Juice. I'll come back to the cafe, and then be a little wander. It's great.
So it's a good experience?
Yeah, sorry, just making things. Hi, Brenda. Oh, those are really loud people here. That's okay. Yeah, well, it's very very diverse community. Seeing how they all come together. There's like way more smaller businesses than big businesses here. And then the big businesses that come here, it's just trying to, they don't look at the community as a whole and like what the needs are as much. So the government funding and things that they're doing, they're implementing so much to kind of change it up to get more people here and get the people that live here, Inuit, to build in the community and start these businesses. So it's amazing to see, and even these little coffee shops that I'm going to, or little family, like a guy that grew, like he's lived here his whole life before 1999, before it became a thing, and invested and built a business here. So it was awesome. I tried to get more out of him, but I had to go. And I had to go to the call.
So where are you right now? At a coffee shop?
Yeah, I'm at a coffee shop. Just they do different places. Like there's what do they call it? Like up, I think it's uptown. They go by numbers of the buildings. So like 800s, 1800s, 200s down. They have, I believe you called it uptown, and then there's down, not downtown, but down. Forgot. I'll remember it. And then there's Apex, which is like the older style, just like more the 1999s and older buildings. And then the newer stuff is closer to the airport and where the people come in. So yeah, I'm at the coffee shop that's in the newer part of it. Newer part of the downtown. And it's on conference Wi-Fi, so I asked them. They were like, "Yeah, that's fine." I'm like, "Okay, sweet," because I'm not a guest at the hotel, so I'll go. I'll buy coffee.
Oh, I see. You're at a hotel. Ah, okay.
Yeah, and they have like a coffee. It's like strip mall kind of thing. So they have like a coffee, or the hotel is one corner, and then they have a theater, and then they have like a fitness center, and then they have a coffee shop, and then they have like a Booster Juice and some other little small things entwined by it.
Cool.
Nice. Yeah. What are you, Brenda? How's things? Did you read the things? I read the things. Did you get all did the videos send in order?
I got videos. Yes. My knees have been very sore. I'm like, yeah, so I'm kind of doing, I went like, I think, what day was it? I went bowling, and then like the next day I could like my knees were so sore right after that. And I thought, bowling, I never really think of it as a very, active thing. Hey, Monica.
Yeah.
Hi,
Monica.
Brenda. Hi, Eric. And hi, Scott.
Hello. I feel like the bowling lunges is what did it. Not made them sore, but stretched it, right? Because you took that long stride to throw down. And so you like lean on it, right? You're used to being so stable that when you lean to go into your lunge the bowling, it probably not injured it, but just a new movement that's on that knee.
Yeah, new movement. Yeah. Anyway.
But I did switch them up. So you have a lighter day and a heavier day. So it gives, instead of just doing heavy legs consistently, you're gonna have a day every week that allows that movement and that flexibility in those muscles and tendons.
Yeah. So I'm kind of listening to my body at this point. Yeah.
Good.
But, yeah,
switch them up more.
Thanks for the videos. They're That's
I
great.
hope hopefully they're good. They will be great, but I was like one of them you could see I kicked the wall, so I'm trying to like there's such a small mat here for like stretching, and I'm like, oh, I don't have the room. Where do I put this? Like trying to figure out where I put the camera to make this work. It's like
They have a gym
hopefully I
there.
give they do. It's like a rec center. So it's like pool,
Oh,
rec
yeah.
center,
Yeah.
playground all in one. Yeah. And the
Perfect.
hotel has a small one, but it's like a cable system gym.
So are you helping Gabe or helping the community? Like what have you been doing there?
Yeah. I came down like Gabe wanted me to do programs for him in general, and then I was interested. I was like, well, I've never been up in none of it before.
Yeah.
So and I asked him about like what do you have there? Like if you want me to come train you, do programs and all these things in person, it's like what do you have here for the people? Like do you have fitness centers? Do you have like where do people go? Like he's just like, well, you gotta come see it and see he has his warehouse gym and he's like there is a rec center one that's fairly new. And the tide attached to it was the like the old fire hall, but they renovated it to a new fire hall.
Mhm.
So coming down here, I was just like, okay. So then I was like, well, I want to take a look. I want to see what's implemented here because if you're reaching out and need someone to come down here, you have no access to anyone here, right? He's like, no. I was like, okay, like the next closest would be Ottawa, and that's very hard to like. You're not going to travel and fly back and forth to train or learn things or have equipment. So that's the first couple of days is spent there seeing what he's got at the gym and what resources they have here, and they're building the community. Like I like that they're hiring and trying to build the people that know, like whether that's swimming or aquatic instructors or fitness instructors or fitness coordinators. They want to be the big thing that they're doing is residents here, like you have to live here. They're trying to get away from like reaching out and then sending people in. If they have to, of course, they are still reaching out and sending or accepting resumes. But and so I got to see that, and then so that's what I was talking to. So I got to experience the fitness center that way and ask him all the questions and where he's from, and did he come in here? Has he lived here the whole while? And he has, and he's grown up in the fitness industry from since he was young. And then I was like, what about the youth? Like, what do they do for He's like, well, we set up some programs. They do like a group class, and they pick different times. So we set aside like to see, we're working the schedule of the schools to try to get them out for their it was phys ed and outdoor recreation or outdoor education. And as well, they have everything's on hills, so everything is outdoors. So and there's a lot of playgrounds. So I saw that. So I've been walking a lot. So I'm like, okay, there's a playground. They have little subdivisions, and there's a bunch of playgrounds for little guys everywhere. So seeing that, then I do want to get into a school for myself this week. The high school and the middle school, as we call it here, we call it junior high, but middle school, 7 to 9, and see what they're money for for like physical education is one thing. So having a gymnasium, see if they're playing sports or if they have anything for fitness education as well. Where you have a gym there, do they just use the rec center or then just feed ideas off? Like you could take a field trip to the rec center. You could go swimming for a day and just kind of how we do things where we have abundance of those resources and give a little bit more options here for the ones coming up to get into it.
Very cool. How long are you going to be there for?
That's where I got the gate tonight. I'm going to see. I got his programs and things. He's focusing so hard on work, and I love that about him. He's got that dialed in. Original plan was for a month to get everything kind of settled in and get him going. He's followed it really good, and now that's just seeing how we can get that into a condensed form and have him more rely on his programs and getting him to do it. Because I'm here and we work out in the morning at 4 a.m. and we have our set up the breakfast, lunch, and supper. Easy to follow, but also has plans. I'm a good cook when I want to be. I did cook chicken wrong once, so that was a mistake. I overcooked it. And having him set on it so that it's easy for him and his wife that meal prep for 2 or 3 days. Not the full week where you're getting sick of food, but he has those longer days of 12 to 14 hours. So allowing that if he has time to come home, he can maybe do the supper at night with the family. Kristen's at home that she could do breakfast and lunch, and just having an easy setup where it's planned out, flexibility is there, where a little bit where it's okay, food, like we don't have an abundance of fresh fruit as much. You have to order them in. The stores are either expensive or short staffed, but they can go and have a grocery list to be like, okay, I need to get eggs and avocados and bread and cheese or whatever's on the list. And if one of them's missing, that they can be like, okay, this was for a Monday for breakfast, but I can substitute this in here and have yogurt or a smoothie instead. And knowing that that's still on plan, that's still hitting your numbers, and having them work with that side coming up.
Cool.
So
Wow.
Brenda, I don't know if you
You've
know
got it.
this, but Scott and I are working on the same project together, and that's Eric's dad.
Oh yeah.
He's our proof of concept.
Oh
So,
no, I heard.
so
Yeah.
I'm doing the holistic wellness part, and Scott is doing, right? Scott, you're doing the weight, the strength training, right? Is that what you're helping him with? Yay.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
you
He's so
and I,
strong.
Scott, can get on a call together to kind of make sure that our strategies merge. So we have, we're saying the same thing to him, so neither one of us is confusing him in any way.
I love that. Yeah, it definitely
He's already reluctant to believe what we're saying. So he's
No.
already like, you crazy people. But he's really awesome.
He's
He's
like,
a great
I
great
do the
man.
gym.
He has the best
Yeah.
sense of humor, by the way. He has that cold Eastern European, like that, that really
Yeah.
sharp, dry sense of humor that I love. So yeah, every time
Yeah.
he says something, it's like one word, and you're like, you can't even believe that it came out of his mouth. You're like, that's
You're
fun.
saying this? Yeah.
Yeah,
Eric,
really.
has you been going to the gym with you a little bit there, Eric, in the last week and a half here, 2 weeks?
No,
Since
so
he's been back from skiing?
we what's it called, when we went skiing, he did a lot of movement with us. He now needs to get back into the gym. So like Sebastian is gonna start going with us, or is gonna start coming. He starts activating his gym membership tomorrow. And dad and my nephew Antonio all want to come together. So I told them, I said, when you, it's gonna be fun. We're gonna have like all of us at the gym together. Scotty's gonna be moving us all at the same time.
It's gonna be
All
a
these
family
pieces.
takeover. Family
Yeah,
takeover.
yeah. So the whole team, all the men in the family, brother, are gonna be listening to you, bro. Um, to what your best movement practices are. You just have to let us know again. I don't think you answered the question, how long you're staying up there for.
Oh,
We heard a lot about avocado, though.
so what? Sorry?
We heard a lot about
Avocados?
avocado, but we still don't know how long you're
Oh,
up
I
there
love
for.
avocados. Like I said, so yeah, I'll go into that. I booked the week with Gabe and getting him set up this week. I'm looking to see if I can shorten that into the weekend, or me and him can work on the flights or Friday, Saturday, Sunday every week. There is a few during the weekend or during the week, sorry. So I'm looking at that weekend. And that's just getting now tickets figured out, pricing figured out, and the flights all secured, and getting him prepped as well for that week. This week, Monday to Friday.
Got it. So I'm hoping, Eric, and Scott, that you'll be able to get Eric's amazing mom, Gosha, to the gym as well, because she needs to lift some weights too. She needs some testosterone in those guns. So,
I would love that.
maybe you can motivate her to bring her as well.
Amazing. Yeah, and I love that you're all up on that, the nutrition and helping them. That's good, because that's feeding him. It gets him. He's already an energetic person, and now feeding the inside from the inside out. It'll be a different level. He won't be as sore. He doesn't really get sore, which is interesting. I have videos of him I can go heavier. I'm like, okay. I'm like, probably should, but then he does it, and I'm like, okay. Because the guy was strong. I was like, that was in college, but you actually are very strong. Yes. And I love his energy, because he's stubborn, but in a good way, where he's like, I know my way, and he knows when not to go too hard, and he knows when it's too easy. So the whole family.
Awesome. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Sorry, Tanya. A lot of
Yeah.
inner
No, don't worry. I love it.
vitality.
It's like I love it. It's like I do struggle go to the gym by myself, because I feel so I don't know what to do, right? So I do run. So that's what I can do. And I join classes and I do my yoga, but like I feel so helpless in the gym. So the last it's like they're a bunch of men and machines. It's like, oh my God, what I'm gonna do here? So It's like if you have some guidance and somebody's telling you what to do, that's always
Yes,
easier.
it makes all the difference,
It
Tanya.
does, and I love it.
Scott,
And
Can you put something
um,
together for us? Like videos or something that you can show us, or maybe we could do a program with you so you
Yeah,
can help the
whatever's
girls figure out how to get more testosterone.
yeah,
strength
so
training is so important. Women have the best
It is.
hormones to do so, and they're the strongest, the fastest is the easy way to put it. So you
and
have
I
this
love it.
unbelievable
Yeah,
strength. Yeah,
yeah,
you
it's
have this unbelievable strength that comes just from the first day at the gym. And yeah, so I was working with Ronald and Mart, and having this body, like I'm able to have a workout that you could use, you can adapt to the gym, you can adapt to the office, or you can adapt at home. So something that's easily like switchable. So you can go in there and get started, because the big thing, like you're saying, is just getting in and getting that program started as it is, so that you have those days set out. So you know what you're doing. And then once you get into that routine, then you can add and progress and make it harder,
yeah.
add a little bit more weights into it, add a little bit more flexibility, which is also very important. Um, yeah, those two first days. So upper body, lower body, and just, okay, I'm confident. I know these exercises. I can adapt them to, okay, I can't go to the gym today. That means I can't do it. It's like, no, I can do it at my home. I can make those exercises very easy. And the same thing, videos. I got to set up maybe get a better tripod or a better camera to allow
So,
a little bit more to see my
Scotty,
body.
brother, remember what we were doing before you left? We were putting together the programs to get your wisdom on camera, which is what was really important. And so remember, this was what I was talking about, is you don't need to be at the gym with every single person. What you need to do is you need to have the clarity in the movement. Remember, it was like we were at the gym and I was like, "Hey, you don't even need to talk, just show what's proper." Because so many empowered women just need a little bit of direction of your wisdom. They don't need you there with them. And by having this ability, then when they can come back here and talk to you about it, this is where you get to add the value, brother. Right?
I
And
mean, I
so
can send my upper body. Like you started me on upper body, just going back to the basics. All you need is band and a couple of weights. I can do them here. I mean, it was just a great way to start, because here's what I found. When Scott was giving me these routines, a lot of it started just body weight. And I would be thinking, wow, I had such a great workout just using my body weight. And I think it's just a good way to start. Yes. And then we're, adding weights, and I have weights here. Because really, what do you need? Some 8-pound, 10-pound, 15 pound. You don't need a lot. Even in the beginning, you don't even have to go to the gym, because there's so much you can just do at home with like the bands and the weights. Like really, I've been doing it for 2 months. I haven't really needed to go to the gym. So, what I would say, I mean, the lower body work he was doing for me, because I'm getting a knee replacement, he's focusing on, building my quads, building my, muscles around the knee. So maybe it's not necessarily appropriate for everyone, but even Tracy, my partner, who's a runner, she was doing the lower body also, because, they were good for her too. So yeah, I totally agree. Scotty, you don't need to, be with it was nice, I must say, when he came to my office. It's really nice because he could really focus on form. But I just go back and I look at the videos he did when I was doing the exercises, and I'm like, yes, okay. And he will talk about the form in that video anyway. He's saying, yeah, make sure. Like I was doing, I don't know what they're called. It's just like when you put your knee on a bench and you're doing, I think, what is that called? Don't even know the names of these things.
Dumbbell rows, one arm dumbbell row.
Yeah. Well, I was doing, he said, you've got to have this arm, they have to be aligned. And a lot, when you see people at the gym, sometimes they're doing these and they're their arm is way back too far. So, but you're explaining that in the video anyway. So I totally agree with Eric. It's just a matter of like, and I'm happy to send the videos that you did with me. Or, you know, if that's not appropriate, then you have to go and just do your own videos, I suppose. But they were super helpful for me. And I think if you hadn't done the video, because he came to my office, we did the exercises together, and then he would video me doing them. So obviously you can't do that with everybody because you're not in the same place. But to me, the videos, yeah, and exactly what Eric said, if there's something you don't understand, you just get on a call and say, hey, you know, FaceTime, here's how I'm doing it. Is this the correct way? You don't have to reinvent the wheel every time.
Yeah.
I'll just keep it moving.
I have to tell you, that's how that's how I got into shape, by joining this guy, Vincent. You probably heard of him. He runs this company called V-Shred. You've heard of him, Scott? Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah. So that's what I did, but you have to be at the gym to do his program. And I love the fact that you, Scott, create something that you don't have to be at the gym. You can just use your own body weight and be in your home doing it, which I think is so much better than having to make the time to always go to the gym. So if you can create something like Vincent did, but like for in-home workouts, you'll be unstoppable.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. That's something I know I grew up on, like Eric, or some people know the old gym class was P90X, like Shaun T and hip hop abs. So adapting something that's easy to do in big groups or in small, or like I was saying, in offices is huge. Where I would love the progression of, you know, iron, weight, energy. I love expressing it through the gym. Seeing that transition though is super important. So like Brenda's saying is, why if you can nail it, why reinvent the wheel when we know these basics work? Our bodies aren't changing. We're not changing how our tendons are attached, or our bones are moving, or, you know, the patterns that we have is the same. So like progressing them and making them a little bit harder and adapting to what our, you know, our culture, our community is, that's where it's very important. That's what makes that hard for us. So seeing that body change and having that accessibility to it, where people can pop a video open and it's me explaining it as a body weight thing, and then how to load it later on, it will be invaluable. Or, you know, someone doesn't have weight, someone doesn't have a band, you don't need to. Or if someone does, awesome, let's progress this and make this a little bit harder. And then that's where they can ask questions like, that was really, you know, I did this for 2 weeks and this is really good. How do I make this harder? I'm like, perfect question. I know how to do that. But yeah, I think that's good times. It's excited for that. And a lot of abundance of people. It's not necessarily the plan, it's how to do that plan. Because we have access to many different plans, and there's a lot of people online that can be like, oh, I have V-Shred, I have Shanti still sending me hip hop abs 30 years later. Like, there's access to these things that we can use, but and how we make that to ourselves and how we adapt that to ourselves is very, very important. That's how I get people to go to the gym. This is for you, and this is how this is, and this is why it's working for you, and this is where we want you to go. Because it's so important to not just the physical health, it's the inner side as well. If you, as you know, from the nutrition side, if we're not feeding our body on the inside, it's not going to, you know, we're not going to receive those results on the outside. And if we're not using the physicality behind it, we're not going to aid in that digestion and things that we need on the inside as well.
Yeah, that's like my biggest issue right now. It's like I just don't have a plan. I just do randomly things.
That's
So
what I was
that-
Tanya. I was doing it randomly, and then I hurt myself. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
same. Like
yeah,
I'm a runner, and I overtrained myself last year. So I was running a lot of half marathons and really pushed it to the limit. So my knee, which had 2 surgeries already, is now completely, is not looking so good. But I mean, I can do sports and exercises, but they said, well, a marathon, that wouldn't be ideal right now. So then you go to kind of classes, and then I'm just feeling lost because I have no plan. And then you look on the internet and there's kind of everything and nothing because they don't know you, right? So it's like, where do I even start? And then there's a nutrition part as well. And it's like, help, right? So it's really challenging, especially like you can't train as a man because you're a woman, right? Your body is just different. You have your cycle, and yeah, so and now I've been traveling the last 3 weeks, and I'm just doing a fasting. I think almost 72 hours in. I normally don't do that. And I've never done that like that. But my entire body was just like so hurting. It was so inflamed. And I had so much stomach issues. So now I actually feel super good by just drinking water, tea, and mom actually cooked me like organic bone broth. So that was really good. Yeah.
That's
But I
awesome. That's
have to
so
go
good for
out
you.
tomorrow. So yes.
Well, Tanya, if you want a nutrition plan, then we can always work something out together. You help me with the sales, I help you with the nutrition
Yes.
plan.
Yes, Monica, let's do that.
We can totally do that because
Yeah,
I know what I'm doing with sales. So,
yeah.
but very happy to do that. And I'm sure Scott could also help with I have obviously I have basic knowledge. And when I guide my clients through a wellness program, we talk about working out. But when it comes to like breaking it down into days and, upper body, lower body, heavier days, lighter days, that's probably something that he would need to put together for us, and we can kind of merge our expertise.
I love it. Because, and I actually nailed it too, is female and male, right? The hormones, the energy, everything is different. And like we said, the time of months and these things make a big difference. Knowing I can speak truly from my side as a male, and like with Eric, I can say like this is how this is going to make you feel, and this is what it does, and this is the output and the hormone, and having that feminine side as well, where they can express how that changes them, or what that program did, or how that nutrition went, or how that fasting made you feel. Because I can fast, and that's my bloatedness or my hormone regulation is very different than how you would take that for 72 hours. Same with running. The lactic acid, the hormones that are amazing. I've run from no running. I think you talked about running in general, but I went from like zero running into doing 10Ks and 12Ks up hills. And I've injured myself by pushing it, but having that plan, which helps now, and knowing it's still structured and it's not going extreme and overboard, like tracking my pace per mile. I saw Beck say that once. I was like, I love that, where it's like you don't need to, not everything needs to be measured in that way. Sometimes you just need to go out and have a good run, or same with the workout, right? You don't have to go to the gym all the time. Sometimes you just have to know that plan or that fundamental is like, I'm building a balanced body. I'm building everything evenly. It doesn't matter if I do it, like, which I'm all about. It doesn't matter if I do it on Monday or Wednesday. It means that I do it, and then I'm working those muscles to complete. So I know the next day I'm getting that full set. So yeah, definitely, I see the advantages of this, and yeah, this not having a program that's everything. It's back to basics, fundamentals. It's all I'm about. It's move proper, move with purpose, move balanced, move well. Like get that going. You feel better. You see the results. You're getting that full body experience, and not just following a full body plan every day. And like this is killing me, and this is too hard, and adapting it, like what I was saying, where it's the real life examples, like Gabe will say, is changing it. You can always progress it. Make it harder. Same with your runs. It's just first steps, just getting in, or first run. It could even be. I think I started the other day. I ran up a hill that was. It seemed like it was like 4 kilometers long. It was like 100 meters, but it killed me in the cold. So getting back into it.
And fasting is very important to know that fasting is very different for women than for men. We have to fast like girls and not like guys. Because of our cycle, we have three stages within our cycle. And even when even for women who are no longer cycling, we follow the cycle of the moon. So it's very important to fast only in the first phase of the moon. So when it's new moon, for the first 10 days, that's the best time to fast for
Well,
women.
then I'm good, right?
I think so. I don't even know where the moon is right now, but I think so, as long as you're good. So yes, it's exactly those first 10 days is perfect for fasting, but like the last 10 days, very
Yeah.
bad for fasting, and that's where you need comfort food. That's where your body is going to actually not like you when you're trying to put it in a fast. So
But
so
my
it's very
question
important for
is,
us.
how do you get out of fasting? So, I mean, what
By
do you
juicing,
ideally eat then?
by juicing usually. So then you go into very mild things and green juices that have very little sugar, so no fruit preferably.
Yeah.
Just green juices with celery juice and spinach and ginger and lemon. So very slowly move yourself to a day of juicing, and then you
Mhm.
can add smoothies. So then your stomach doesn't have to digest a lot. So the smoothie's also green, but with adding a little bit of protein, a little bit of fat, and then you move into eating gently.
Yeah. Okay.
So would you agree, Scott?
I was just gonna go on that too. Uh, Very much agree. You're not even necessarily per se shrinking the stomach, but when you fast, you're cleansing everything, right? Like your gut health, your biomes, everything's coming through. You're saying you feel good. Yeah, you just got everything out of your body from sweat to other ways. It's important to make sure you're getting quality things in your body after. So once you've cleansed it, you don't want to go back. So if people do cleanses for, the bad, feeling bloated, because of the hormone stuff, the cycle stuff is new to me. uh, and same with the caffeine stuff. So making sure we have those quality foods and whole foods. I love the juicing idea. That's big for me. Same, we talked to, I forget his name, I'll remember later, but availability is a bigger one too. So supplementation, if you're not getting all those things, is okay as well, as long as it's quality. So if you're low on the protein, or the second day you're getting into more proteins and fats, and you can't get the grape avocados, avocado oil, rapeseed oil, sesame seeds, all those things, you can look into an alternative. That's always that second, right? Because our lives are like, we live business, convenience, and availability is huge. So having that option as well, where you're like, okay, I don't have celery, I don't have necessarily juice, then having an option. But yeah, very important to quality foods, whole foods, and staying on that. No sugar is a big one that I work on. Is no refined sugar. Same with the sugars from fruits, and fruits are good. Saving that for later on, because we just cleanse the body of that. I'm not getting that spike of energy from that sugar as well.
Cool. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Sure.
I'm excited to hear how that. Did you break the fast now? Are you planning to? You said you were doing it for 72 tonight, tomorrow.
Well, tomorrow morning, it's like 5:30 here. Like tomorrow morning, it will be 72 hours.
Of just water. You're just doing water, yes? Water and tea and
Well, tea and like bone broth. That's it.
great.
But I did
Amazing.
have a coffee.
No, it's okay.
You say
No,
I was good.
because like black coffee, no sugar, because I got so much like headache and a migraine, and it's like, the detox, of course. And I was like, no, I need a coffee because like my body is just like, yeah.
Well, normally the headache comes from detoxifying from caffeine. So
Yeah, I was just
But
about
I
to say,
was
I was
just
like, that
like,
headache
my
comes from
poor
caffeine.
parents, right? Meets to super miserable. It's like, and I live with them right now. Like, I
I
can't
mean,
get coffee.
yeah, it's tough, but it will happen. You'll get like Scott said, you'll get withdrawal syndromes from coffee just like you would from a drug.
Yeah,
Um,
but I mean, yeah. I mean, I reduced it to one a day. Normally, I drink 4 to 5. So
oh my Lord.
yeah.
Well,
So
yeah.
I'm quite heavy on coffee. So
So what's really important to know about coffee, and I'm sure, well, Eric already knows this because we had a wellness session with his dad and he was present, and Scott, I'm sure knows this, but coffee is actually, it's not a horrible thing. It does help you digest your food. So you can drink it. It's just really bad to drink it on an empty stomach. That's what really kills it because you're eating your stomach lining. It's, the acid in the coffee it's taking away your stomach lining. So you'll have IBS, you'll have bloating, you'll have all these different issues because you're drinking coffee on an empty stomach. But if you
Oh,
drink
wow.
coffee after your meal, then it actually helps you break down the proteins and the fats in the food. So then you're helping yourself digest rather than hurting your digestive system. So having that one coffee after your breakfast or after your lunch is not horrible. It's actually beneficial. But having it before totally messes you up.
okay, didn't know
I
that.
didn't know. Nope, didn't know that. I usually have
Good to know.
on an empty stomach. Uh-oh.
Because we feel the caffeine more sensitivity to it,
Shoot.
and preferably black and not full of sugar and creamer and milk, and that
Yeah.
helps. But yeah,
You can
Not
however,
a
if
full
it's
fat
fat in it.
Starbucks.
You
I
can
get
put
that.
yeah,
yeah. You can put fat in it. Putting like coconut
Mhm.
oil in it actually helps with, coat your stomach. So you can make something that we call bullet coffee, right? Where you just put some coconut oil and you mix it. It makes it very frothy and actually very tasty. And it helps you coat the stomach so it doesn't hurt your digestive system.
Like a tablespoon or teaspoon,
Yeah,
like of coke.
like a
Okay.
teaspoon of coconut oil. Yeah. Or MCT oil, even better because that's. So yeah, either one of those would do really great with a coffee.
And can you put cream in it or not? Like a bulletproof, I remember would
I do
have
coconut milk,
butter.
Brenda.
It had butter. Yeah, it had, I mean, I have MCT oil
That's
but I
great.
thought it was also butter. No.
So it's either or
Oh,
because it's
either or.
fat.
Yeah. Okay.
I prefer
Good
the
fat.
MCT because it has so many more benefits than
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree, Scott? MCT is a better option for that.
Yeah, I do. I have MCT at home. The only thing is, when you get them, they come in little containers. They're very messy. I spill it all the time, and I have MCT oil everywhere. You have to keep it
Really? We
refrigerated.
have them in a spritz bottle in Whole Foods. We
Uh,
just right into our smoothie or our
maybe
coffee.
it's just the bodybuilder in me. I get like the absurd tub of it that I'm just like little screw lid and trying to pour this 2 liter thing on one little spoon, and I'm like, yay, fast. It's good for me. And then I end up just drinking pure MCT oil, but and it's good. And it's, even if you have too much of it, it's not it's fats. I mean, obviously the calories, but I don't go past the 1 or 2 tablespoons. I like I like the MCT flavoring, just me, maybe like non-flavored. I don't. There is some out there. I'm sure you could say that have nowadays they'll have something that's flavored or fruity.
Vanilla. They have
Maybe
vanilla.
maybe they even get it. Okay, so giving that different flavor, or if you like that coconut and that consistency of it, and that's just as good as too. But I do prefer that full medium chain.
Yeah. Good stuff. You have
I'm learning.
Yeah.
any questions? Eric, has your dad been implementing any of the things we discussed?
Oh yeah, mom's been taking care of. She just dropped me off like a bunch of pineapple and strawberries and tea and bananas. Uh,
When you eat your fruit, eat it with some nuts. Eat it with
so like there. Oh yeah, there's. I have all of this here in front of me. It's
okay,
just she
good,
just
good, good.
dropped off right now everything while I'm sitting here, and that's why I just
That's awesome.
thanked her. Um, yeah, she's
That's awesome.
been really taking care of dad. I mean, she always has. She never not has.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Uh,
Your mom is
she,
amazing. I'm so
yeah,
glad that she came in on the session because if you don't bring the woman who's taking care of the man, you can tell the man until you're blue in the face and he will never be able to implement it. But she was like taking notes. She was so good about it. So I know that when she's on board, it's gonna happen.
well, she's always been on board, is what I'm saying. She's been implementing a lot of things, and she does a lot of her own research as well, right? So mom has
Yeah,
always been
very
very
knowledgeable.
well aware of her own doings, and then it's also nice to then have, because if she's saying it to dad, it's one thing. If it's somebody else that's saying it to dad, or it's like it's the same thing with me. I can say everything to my parents. It doesn't matter. I can say all of these things that you guys are talking about to people until I'm blue in the face. It's different when it's coming from somebody else. And so there's a lot of things that this is in benefit of really being in service to each other, is we could be living and breathing and embodied in the way that we're living our life. And sometimes people look at us as the models, and then they're like, hey, how is that possible? And they may not listen, truly hear you of what you're bringing to the world or to the table. So it's important to have other people to come and reflect them from another perspective, and then just hold them accountable, because that's kind of why it's always so beautiful to work in community. Everyone has a really strong perspective that can add value to one another. So, like Tony always says, new values, new perspectives, new insights, new people, new responsibilities. It changes the environment and enhances harmony.
Very true.
Go on all terms for vitality is why group classes or going with somebody brings that next level, not just for accountability, but drive and energy and what we output and exert is having that more than just the one that pushes us and allows us to grow. And when we're new, like Brenda, when I'm helping, is having different pillars where she has this access to hearing me and talk about nutrition, and then gets a little bit more. And she's dialing notes right now about the coffee, I can tell, and then has all the programs as well in between. And then having that in person, it's just building more, especially with the dad. You can tell is Eric's on one way. He's like, oh, okay. And then I'm on him. I'm like, no, this is good. We're going to be doing this. And then Monica's on him, and then Mom is on him. And he just doesn't have. It's just all of us around supporting and growing him. He just has to be part of it, which is amazing. Like Eric was saying, it's just that harmony and that, especially with vitality, just embodies them. It's just they're just surrounded by it, and we're living it. We don't think that I have to do these things. That's how we are, and then be creating and that growth. That they're doing the exact same. That they're just part of the vitality and growing as well.
Well, one of the things that, like, as you know, Scotty, that started me on this journey was really health and fitness, right? Like all my life, health and fitness has been such a key component. So whether I competed on stage or, was training others, that's really what was the biggest distinction, is showing up for myself first, being the example. And then as a result of being in the gym, well, you remember, Scott, like even now when we're at the gym, people are like, they come up to us like, where are you guys from? Who are you? Why are you like, and even
Your energy so much.
Back then I was 3 times the size, so it was like a different perspective, right? And it wasn't the healthiest because I was taking steroids then. Now I'm absolutely in integrity. I was competing on stage then. And then I was like really focusing on these dynamics. And so it was interesting, the journey. It always been about, how can I continue to aesthetically be healthy? And then now it's going deeper internal into integrity and true vitality, right? And then that's really what got me traveling the world. It was health and fitness. It was ability to have this ability to showcase everything on courses and then spend the time with people. So that was what got me. That's the reason that I was able to afford Tony Robbins' Platinum Partnership, was because I chose to focus on my vitality. And then as a result, everyone else wanted to learn from me. And so this was the journey that started me on. And so I think, brother, like, really integrating your wisdom into, so everybody in the community, even more people can have access to it online. It's going to give you a lot more freedom. And then, what's really happening is then as a result, we get to, help the community, whether it's the community or the healing space or, really developing what we're all here to integrate and create Viva Balance.
That's
Balance.
it. That's it. Viva Balance. Viva. You guys don't know this, but Eric and I, completely separately, my whole life since I was in college, I was going to create a wellness center, a healing center called Viva. I always, because it's like Viva la vida, right? Like
Viva.
to life. So that's always been my dream. And then I see a post from him that says Viva Balance. I'm like, what is this place? Because I'm planning to open one. And he's like, that's what I'm opening. I'm like, what? That's crazy. So yeah, Viva is gonna be, there's gonna be centers all over the world.
And Brenda, maybe talk about your property name. What is it called?
Oh, Viva Properties.
Holy, that's insane.
Viva Properties for like 10 years or something.
No way. Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's wild. That is kind of right. That's manifesting. That's synergy, right?
Yeah, manifesting, no coincidences on that one.
Yeah.
That's so hilarious.
And this
So,
is
yeah.
why it's so nice to just have when we build a team that has the same dream, it becomes ease and grace. It becomes integral. It becomes sincere, and it becomes focused on the greater responsibility as a team, as like a family. It's not even a team. It's like, I mean, it is a team and it's a family, So just just take care of each other. And that to me is what inspires me most, because then we can start to really be totally shining bright all as a family. Like no, there's no I'm really not interested in competing with anybody. It's just not interesting for me. This is just
That's a compelling story, actually, Eric, how you went from competing and that was like your whole life was competing on stage. And now you're like the exact opposite of that. You're in absolute accordance with all of humanity and you do not want to compete ever. Like that's pretty cool.
That's a shift. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fitness physiology as well, where we have this extreme, I need to be the most muscular, the strongest, and compete against the next. I got to be grainier, leaner, fitter, bronzer, and chase ourselves. All these things that we pride ourselves on in that competition. And we lose sight of that internal healthiness, of like there's integrity or what we personally need to be healthy and the longevity side of it. I see so many people that take the extreme to get this extreme side very fast. Everybody gets this accessibility. Everybody wants something very fast and really there, and not just the challenge. And it's like that is changing it. He's changing his body permanently. He's seeing changes and he's seeing growth that he would have had, or he would think that only have one way. And he's healthier, he's moving better, he's vibrant, he has the energy, like you talk about vitality, where you're sleeping better, you can stand all day, you can talk for 14, 15 hours. I've seen it, and I'm like, you're gonna go to bed? He's like, not yet, I gotta do more things. I'm like, okay, unlimited energy. So it's everyone has that they take different from it. It's growing and getting better. And like Brenda's working on, like I feel better, my knees better, I'm moving better. Gave her 4 workouts to do in a week, and we started off with like 2, some cardio, and it was hard. Like it should be hard, and now it's just building and progressing. And now she's doing more and wants to do more. So her pad is going to get more out of the running and the fat. It's just amazing. It's something that's you're creating lifelong patterns and longevity behind it, where there's nothing that's going to stop any little challenge, especially physical or health or anything in between. Is just going to be broken paths. And there's no competition, because the competition is yourself. You're just trying to get better every day.
Very true. Very true.
So I just want to share what I dropped in the group about Lao Tzu. He said, has this beautiful quote: "If you want to awaken all of humanity, then awaken all of yourself. If you want to eliminate the suffering in the world, then eliminate all that is negative in yourself. Truly, the greatest gift you have to give is that of your own self-transformation." Lao Tzu.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah.
Saving it. Very nice.
Yeah. All that self-transformation is not all always what you see or what others see. It's how you feel as well. That's a big part of vitality and energy.
From my perspective, it's the ultimate, the feeling. When we follow the feeling, right? Because we're not conditioned, most are conditioned not to pay attention to the feelings. When we follow the feeling, we follow what's true, what's honest, what's integral. This is my experience. And
Mhm.
I agree.
I feel like I'm coming out all right.
You truly, when you feel and you live in those feelings, it's expressed. It's not just said. I can't say I'm happy. We've learned through many events, or Brenda would call me out, or I am loved. No, you're not. You gotta. It's a feeling, and it's seen and it's felt both ways. It's that mirror where I feel it, Eric. I see it. I know it. You don't even have to say those things, or how your emotions are, what feeling you are, through vitality, or it's through energy, or through business. We feel it. That's huge, and that's how we connect with one another. And we can connect. I feel this through the energy of FaceTime right now, or Zoom calls. Sorry, it's amazing. I can see everybody, the physiology. We're sitting. We're happier. We're brighter. We're like, ooh, I'm excited about this next thing, or even one thing of I'm going to feel amazing by just putting MCT oil and coffee after my food. Like just those small little changes that we make is creating that feeling of what we want to continue on doing.
Well, hopefully soon we're all in Edmonton together and talking about all the magic that we're bringing to the world locally and acting globally and thinking, or acting locally, thinking globally, and just building those foundations of vitality so that it becomes a liftoff point. Because what I see here, at least personally, this is my perspective, is a lot of wisdom in this room. You know, a lot of different strengths, a lot of empowering people. And it's nice to see that congruence.
Totally.
I see the power behind them and the smiles and the energy.
Yeah. Energy is everything. And
Energy.
everything is energy.
We got
So
Eric's dad getting into it and has more and has that energy now, and youthful energy and playful energy, and we attract what we are, and it's a big part of seeing that in Edmonton or wherever we are is you're smiling and your energy that you go, or that curiosity that you're going to have, and that energy, like whether it's a business meeting, corporate, or in the gym, or at home, or just going for a run. Like, who are you? Like, how is this person running this fast at 4 a.m. or how is this person at 7 p.m. at night have all this energy and smiling and just happy with life? It's amazing.
yeah, and a quick side note, that picture of your dad taking a video with that contraption on his head, that made me laugh for like an hour. That made like
Yeah.
my day. I thought I thought that was hilarious. And his look from underneath the glasses,
Yeah.
awesome.
He doesn't
He's
need technology. Technology
yeah.
needs him. He's the creator. He's the inventor. He's
He
like,
is.
there's straps for that. He's like, I'll make my own. I'll do my own. I'll create
Dude,
my own
he's
path and
so
my own idea.
brilliant. He's so brilliant. Like his ability to find a solution throughout all of my life and his wisdom. And it's so fascinating because so many people would like not understand his wisdom because they judged his English or, you know, his teeth or things like this or whatever. And like he would give more because that's what he just keep giving. And he always be like, Eric, what do you think of this? Or maybe we can approach it this way, or you can do it this way. Like he would be the guy that like I would confide in all the time when things were fucking not working out, you know, like, and he just, one of the biggest things, and I think I mentioned this to all of you, as Dad always said, just this is everything. You keep fucking following this, whatever it is. This is it. And there's a lot of decisions in my life that I was scared of my mind, and I just felt it, and I was like, I have to try it. I have to, or not even try it. I have to do it because of what Dad said, you know, and it's amazing to have that. It's amazing to have that type of reflection and still have the ability to see that, you know, because most people don't discover that part of their wisdom of their parents until their parents are gone. And I have the blessing of still appreciating the wisdom of my parents and observing their growth now, which, by the way, they're both coming to Brazil.
No way.
They're
That's so
both coming.
cool.
They're both coming to Brazil, and they're both willing to sit in ceremony at the end with the brothers from the tribes. So, like, there's so much, like, that is an intergenerational responsibility that we're collectively stepping into from past lives. And it's amazing to see that because that becomes a real huge impact on a collective scale, you know, from a layer of collective consciousness. So it's profound because most people don't get that. For me, it's profound because most people don't get that gift.
Totally, absolutely. It is. I wanted to ask you, in for the retreat, and I'm gonna dive into the website, but you already have all the facilitators in place and they're all local, right? They're all coming, or you have them coming in from other places.
So facilitators are primarily like Brenda will chime in if she's unable to make it, she'll chime in and Zoom. Scotty will be there. Ronald is talking about wealth generation. People in terms of like somatic dance or you know, in artists or instrument will definitely have people that are already on the ground. Like for example, right now, Brenda, she sent me a message about some of the people, for example, like the sound and projector services, people for body work, and then like uh hike what do you mean? What do I mean? What do I mean? The trail guides, to take us on the different hikes to the waterfalls and then to guide us, and so a lot of those people I already have relationships with, or Brenda on the ground has relationships with.
Great.
And
Awesome.
then of course the brothers from the tribes and the sisters from the tribes are also coming in from the Honey Queens to spend more time with us and then just kind of educate.
That's awesome. Well, if I make it, I'm happy to serve, and I'm happy to educate and teach about, nutrition or wellness or energy, whatever you need.
Yeah, the whole week is going to be a vegetarian based diet. Everything is vegetarian for the whole week, so it's very high wellness. And the reason for that too is because at the end of the week, I want everyone to discover throughout the whole week the natural medicine of who they are, right? And discovering the cognitive, emotional, physical connection to nature and this beautiful wisdom that is provided us as natural emphasis. And then at the end of that, it's kind of like an opportunity as you're discovering your own nature at the end of that to then step into an experience of absolute trust with the elders if they choose to sit in this is an open opportunity. It doesn't mean anyone needs to take it, or no one or people need to go there. However, what it will offer, it will show people that they are the medicine, because they'll discover through the experience that it's actually all inside. And so that's really the vitality that I speak of when I speak of vitality. It's this life force energy that makes us unstoppable.
Yep.
Eric, sorry I had to hop off because I just got my date for my knee replacement.
Oh,
I'm
gonna hear all about that later.
When is it?
Well, I can either do the 24th of February or March 10th. I'm kind of would like to get it over with on the 24th, but I'm just wondering, when is the next event? When was the UPW?
Well, we were thinking of doing UPW here locally, and I would. Yeah. So I guess that was the goal of doing the March event here locally for UPW. However, I was reflecting on it and I'm just saying, hey, this is something that I just want, because I felt like the last one, it was we learned a lot. So I wanted to spend more time with you, really getting clear on making sure that we are not a charity. You know what I mean? So this is something.
Good plan. I would totally ascribe to that.
Yeah.
No free giveaways.
That's right. And so
or fun giveaways.
Yeah, because I think
except for the youth. I'm okay for the youth. Absolutely.
Same. Yeah. There you go.
Yes.
And by the way, I really like the fact that we were able to welcome the youth and they took a lot away from it. And there will be even more. So this is something that maybe Brenda
so maybe not the UPW. We might want to work on other ones prior to do. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So I just wanted to, because I don't want to,
rush into it. It's already coming up in March.
Yeah. And also I think that by choosing not to be a charity, we are then creating sustainable growth.
Yeah.
By choosing to be a place of where we know and we add our value and we provide a service. And
Yeah.
this is why I said also to Tanya on the previous call, I said, hey, just put me in front of the people and I will sell the experience, because I know I know the value that we're bringing to Brazil, and I know the value and the responsibility. So that will be the same thing with the next events that we create, here locally, and then eventually even bigger globally with the retreats and other summits that we want to do. However, again, and like I agree with you, is like let's serve and provide value as a contribution to the youth. However, we also then invite that youth to see if they can add value or contribute their energy in terms of action and what they want to really move towards. So, for example, like Luan and Shaw are really doing a lot of things behind the scenes right now to help make things happen, which is really a huge value add. And so, however, these impact innovators, creators, leaders like James, who just showed up from Ireland, I met him in UPW in Cologne. He signed up to the Conscious Revival, and he's like, dude, this is exactly what I need. I'm an artist. I have been focused on business and I want to be around huge major impact creators and innovators. And today I'm meeting, a few ladies, Plat ladies, that have just finished out their Plat year and they want more. A lot of ladies that really just it's primarily ladies, which is amazing, that really just want to step up and are empowered to say, hey, Jordan, the lady from that you had brought in, she really can't wait to connect as well. Brenda, Jordan, the real estate lady that you mentioned, she's really excited. So do you know who I'm talking about?
No,
You
I'm like, what?
you included her into the group. You added her into the group a little while back.
I'm trying to think who that is. Jordan, what was her last name?
Oh shoot, I don't know. But she's a Plat, or she was a Plat. So a lot of these empowered, powerful women are just like, Eric, yes, let's talk.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I wanna.
Well, yeah, I'm very excited about that. Empowered women for sure. Yeah, like I was saying before, how some events I go to, they're so top heavy with men. And in that there is a lot of male energy in the room.
Yeah.
Right. I noticed that in the last real estate event I went to. I was like, whoa, good time to, promote, to empower, to, collaborate with other strong women that want to make a difference and not just want to make money.
And that's what I love. I really love empowered women because I've been around empowered women all my life.
Mhm.
And like we were at my grandma's yesterday, and the ladies are like, my grandma and my aunt and my mom are all like moving and helping, and I'm like helping them. I'm helping them. I'm there with them. I'm not watching and observing them. I'm there in the midst. And this has been since I was a boy, is like being there with them, serving, because they're serving the family. They're taking care of the
Yeah.
family. So it's like, hey, how can I serve the ladies that are serving the family? And it's like, this is from my perspective, like it's a different approach to life than most people have,
Mhm.
or most men, like you said, this male energy that like is hey, how are you, Kanda? Hi. Mwah.
That's okay.
And I just there's this beautiful song. I have to send it to you, ladies. It's put put us all together, make a mighty. It's like the words of it are, put us all together and make a mighty rose. You put enough of empowered women together, you can I believe we can create anything. And because it's for a greater purpose. And from my experience in life, in the past, I've discovered a lot of men that have wanting to compete. And like, I genuinely love and see the wisdom in men. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong, except my hallucination and observation is that a lot of them do their best to compete. And I don't want to. I genuinely don't want to. I'm just being myself, you know? And so it's like, I'm this natural born leader that is doing what is needed to be done. And I'm not here to measure arms or whatever. You know what I mean, Scott? So this is just the way that I feel we get to show up, and I love being around that feminine energy. To me, it's encouraging.
Absolutely.
Very true. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to hop off. And then I'll see you, Eric and Brenda, later. And
Yes.
Tanya, I'll be in touch. And Scott, I'll
Yeah.
be in touch too. So
And I have to hop
I'll
off
be
too.
in touch.
Gotta get Kanda going.
Yeah.
I'll
We'll talk
to
a
you
little
guys
bit later.
See
We'll
ya.
talk, Brenda, about your
Well,
knee
have a
there later too.
beautiful evening or day,
Exactly.
guys. Bye.
Yeah, how
Amazing.
how are you feeling,
Me or Tosh?
Tanya?
Tanya.
Very, I don't know, very powerful. It's like the last, since we spoke actually on that Saturday, I feel quite good. Very light, not so worried anymore. I mean, I have a very big gift. Like, I have also a very good connection and relationship with my parents. They are absolutely amazing. And I just love being around them, living with them. It's just such a gift, right? So I really do enjoy that right now. And yeah, so I'm very, very grateful being part of your team. And this year is, I don't know, I can't stop smiling. It's like I have like this, my mind is just like, okay, what can we do? How can we do it? Like, let's start. So it's like taking notes here. It's like names are popping up. Like, I'm gonna call. It's like, yes, 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 just write it down. So it's really, that's fun. Really looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be a great year. I don't know why, but I just have a good feeling about it. And yeah.
We really appreciate you. I really appreciate you. I really have since we met in Amsterdam, I really saw your wisdom, and I'm grateful that you're here even more now. And I'm excited to spend more time and be in service together. And then I look forward to spending more time in person. It's really always a pleasure to meet great people and create, because that is the thing for me is a lot of people, they talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't like talking about it. I rather just do it.
Yeah, I agree. It's like people talk so much, and it's like, well, just do it now. It's like, what do you mean? It's like, yeah, just do it now. It's like, what is holding you back, right? So
There's so much power and wisdom in sitting and listening and taking in, like with respect to the family as well, or Eric's dad, but just in general, there's so much that I gain and so much more power and wisdom I gain just from just sitting and listening to other people and their knowledge and their experience. And when you just know, you feel more. They don't have to, like, Eric, when we're in person, you don't have to say things, you just feel things. And it's such a different experience and you grow so much for it. You don't think just saying on this call, it's like, we're just all just talking. We're talking from the heart. We're talking from our experiences. I'm not saying I'm vitality or I'm saying I want to eat healthy or do these things. We're embodiments of it. And I see that when you said you can't stop smiling and writing notes. Like, I love that, because it's all about the energy and what it is, and seeing your state change is amazing. Not change, grow. You're growing consistently.
Yeah, it's true. I love listening to people as well and really listening, right? So, because some people listen and they are distracted and then they actually don't hear you. And yeah, I appreciate that. This, yeah, community you're building that's amazing. And I haven't been to a single Tony Robbins event, unfortunately, yet. I feel kind of still connected, right? So
Yeah, because it's the principles, right? So it's not about Tony, and Tony knows that. Most people don't know that. Tony knows that though. It's not about Tony. He's a vessel of passing on the wisdom that he's standing on. So he's learned so much from so many different universal principles. It's not about Tony. Tony is just a vessel that creates the opportunity for people to live at the outstanding standard, and he's a role model of possibility. And so, this is why I choose to learn from him, because he's living and embodying it. He's not just talking about it. Although most people at the beginning, when they hear him, they want to like emulate him and do exactly what he's doing. They don't realize the effort and consistency it takes behind the scenes. Tony always says, what we practice in private will be rewarded for in public. And so it's not about standing on stage and just talking these things. It's about living them. And then as a result, it's not even talking about it on stage. It's just sharing your experience, because a belief is a poor substitute for an experience. Once it's an experience, it's who you are.
makes sense.
This is why the congruency of, like, when I'm on a service call or I'm talking, like, you won't see a difference in me here, or whether I'm speaking on stage or if we're talking one-on-one or wherever we are. It's the consistency.
That's all about vitality and energy as well. Consistency is key. Being consistent of who you are, what you want, where that energy is going, what you believe in, that work, that work ethic. I love that, because it is, when you speak or whatever, presence or how you are is not just saying, but it's an experience, and taking people through it, and whatever everybody gains, they could do the same thing 3 different times. They get new things from it every different time, because your experience and what they take from that experience. Because I could tell someone to do something all the time, if they believe in it, okay, like, but they got to live it, they got to do it, and they got to experience it themselves to make that change. Whether that's for business, energy, vitality, nutrition, the small steps, everything is that you got to walk the path, and they have to walk the path as well. And we're here just to help them along that. And I mean, it can be as wide. There's some flexibility. It can be as wide as it needs to be for now, and then we narrow it. But they're walking it, living it.
Wisdom. Well said. That was beautiful. Honestly,
So,
Scotty, I just want to say thank you, brother, for being here, and supporting in such a deep way, for not just now, but also for decades, because we've had this relationship. And I'm excited that, we get to really play this game on life, on this playground, where we get to make more meaningful focus of service to others as a team, as a community. And Tanya, I'm grateful. I'm genuinely so excited for us, to discover even more of each other. I really see your wisdom, and it's just gorgeous. It's amazing. It's really nice. And I love when you smile. It's so amazing.
Thank you.
So
it's
yeah,
blessed energy.
it's really, an empowered man can create a space for all the empowerment, and that's what I feel when we're, creating the space, this community. It's coming from a greater source of intelligence. So there's no limits. There's no limits. There's no comparison. We're all just unique in our ways. So.
And I thanks for all the
Great.
so much to come. There's so much growth. And again, thanks. I'm going to say thanks to all the other women as well, but you're all very strong. You're all very powerful. And I love that feminine and mix of masculine energy that you guys give, and seeing how I can serve better for those needs that you guys want, especially in the vitality and longevity, energy, fitness, wellness, nutrition, that we have each other's back. Where, okay, I need to have just a video, and I need you to have this basic program, or I need this from this, and just having that, we have so much trust and communication, and just how clear it is in that clarity, where it's like, this is where we need to grow, and this is what I feel, and that openness is amazing, because that what we break those boundaries or expectations that we would have on ourselves, and now there's standards of what we're creating. And I loved it. I was like, just getting the thought bubbles going. It's like, oh, I know what I can do, and know how to give more and feed more, and yeah, serve better too as well.
Scott, what's coming to me right now, brother, is when you get back here, we put together the full plan of anchoring in the Vitality course, so that people can either purchase it, that are outside of the community, and then the inner circle, the people that are on the team or in the family, they can have access to it. And so then it's an offering that we can put on the website, that we can have additional resource, so people can have additional access to you. So we can, emphasize that, and just have that available, so people know that you are creating these things. What's coming to me is just, let's making it. I know we talked about this, but let's just do it.
Yeah, and I have been created a fundamental from, even I just now have an abundance of programs of stuff out. It's like, and now I'm going to create something that involves all of it and fine tune it, where you guys helped me. I wrote notes down, and I was taking notes of that's fundamentals of creating this, where you can do it and you have that base start point, where you have that more advanced thing where we can create a community around, like, you can start wherever you are in this program or wherever you need to. And if you have nutrition, that's more important, we have that pillar. If we have flexibility, we have harmony, breathing, we have those pillars. Get in there, get started, get moving, because that's the most important.
And you go from what's most important, number one, to what's most to going through. And if it's like it's a 6 or 12 module experience, or 12 week type of a course, whatever the case is, people then have access to the videos, and then they can come on the weekly calls that are even more condensed and focused on them. But this way it allows you to have bigger reach without needing to go to people's places and dissipating your energy.
Yeah. And I like that. And that's giving people, you can't following something that's continuing, because we're doing this for long term, but not okay, I have a month and I have these goals. You're going to get that. That's easy. That's measurable. So you're creating these lifelong habits, vitalities, and health and energy and sleep, and all these pillars together, that we want to create that feeling. It's not just, oh, I see my pants go smaller. It's like, of course, how'd you feel when that happened? What do you see? What do other people see? What is this connection that you have? How are you presenting yourself better? How is this transformation more than just the physical embodiment of it? And that's amazing, because we have a website, or you have access to all of it as one, where you have, okay, well, now I got my health. How do I get my business? I'm just scroll over to the right, or how do I talk about doing this in person? So it's accessibility with the right paths, which I love. We're guiding them into it. It's all right there. They don't have to search thousands of websites or thousands of things. You're part of our community. Let's help our community, and then we build our community as one. And how they give back is neat.
Love it. Cool.
I get Tanya running again.
Yeah, I will start maybe tomorrow for a small, easy run. But it's like true. It's like the amount of time I track myself and put the pressure on my watch, reaching that perfect time. Like, that's just insane, right?
It is.
So ridiculous.
Perfect
and
is
then
our lowest standard.
Then you don't have your pace, and you don't enjoy it anymore. It's like, this is so ridiculous. So yeah.
And like we talked about runner's high. You can search all the scholarly articles in the world. They're not going to say at this point, at this VO2, at this heart rate, blood pressure, you get it. It's just you experience. It's an experience. You experience by doing.
Yeah.
When you're doing those runs, there's no measurable that's going to tell you that you get into that state, you get into that feeling. And that's why I love running. And the days that I didn't want to run are the days that I felt them earlier and longer. So like creating something like that. And that's just that changing that inside feeling of, I just want to go for a run, and I can jog, I can walk, I was just walking the other day, like I said, I just wanted I saw this hill, I was like, I'm gonna die, but I'm gonna sprint this thing, and I did.
Yeah, it's like
And
sometimes you're
I
just
fell in
gonna
a hole 3
listen.
times.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you just gonna listen to your body. Some days there was just like a day I was running for 15K and I was like even not thinking about it. And the other day I was like stopped after 2. And that's fine, you know,
exactly.
but
Yep.
that's a process everybody has to go through. And yeah, not doing the competition crazy things
Yeah,
anymore.
and even competing with yourself can be like with the measurable is detrimental, and in a sense, you want to be a friendly competition yourself. How am I growing? How am I getting better? Not that I
Yeah,
have to beat this time and I have to beat this weight. Like when me and Eric work out, I'm not like, oh, you did 50 last time, we have to do 55. I go by, me and him work together where it's like I know how he's feeling, I know his energy. I sometimes double it. I'm like, I don't even know how, but it's just how our body is that time, right? There's not a strict measurable competition. We have that internal, I want to be better and I want to feel better. And that's the
yeah,
same with the run. Like if you're feeling better, run. If you're not, no, you don't have to think I have to beat that time or I have to beat that run at that certain thing. It's you're creating that. Now, of course, there's a little bit when you're doing like a marathon or if you're doing something
yeah,
later
of
on that
course.
you do have to measurable, of course. And then that's where you've already hit that program where you can plan and program that a little bit more. That's where you have to have a little bit measurables because you're doing something for that, like a fundraiser run or something as a competition, as that people have different goals, which is amazing. Getting to that is the next level.
Yeah. No, it's like I was part of Adidas, like part of the crew there, the crew runners and captain here in Berlin. And it was just like insane because like every Sunday you were running a half marathon, leading a bunch of like group and you have to perform, right? So like some Sundays you just don't feel it and you have to do these 22K and it's just like even like pushing the other people is absolutely insane. So it's
I love
like,
that. And then I've done those and that creates the community. You have those people around you. And the day that you didn't want to run was the day that someone else is like, I'm a new runner. And they're pushing your pace. And you're like, you don't even think about it, right? And then you're like, I need to be at this next year because I've been doing this for so long. And it creates that, even just the proximity and presence of that person where it's you're doing it for the greater good. You're no longer just running to be better for your run, you're running for a group and you're running to
yeah,
make this group faster and be them, and then you can get into that. But yeah, you're right. It's when you think of it, you're like, wow, like looking back, it's 22 kilometers, 22.5 kilometers in a week. It's insane. And then it's like, is my body gonna get sore? And then planning that throughout the week, okay, maybe 1 or 2 runs to keep my just enjoy my runs, and 3 or 4 stretching and breathe work where I can go there and I'm in my own little state, and you focus on, I want to make this an experience for not just me, but for those others that are there. And if that's your passion of running, or if it wasn't at the time, like, okay, I could get a group of people in a running and I can do that because I want it because I am that person. And this is really enjoying my life.
You guys are brilliant. I love listening. It's amazing to see what's coming through. I love
We get
this
Eric running.
call, and I'm excited and grateful to you both. Let's stay, Tanya, in touch.
yeah.
And Scott, I'll see you soon. And I love you both so much. Let's
You guys.
continue to carry on.
All
Carry on
right.
growing.
Hey guys. Bye bye.
Have a great